Under control, the message from San Diego leaders about area dams. A closer look following the breach in Northern California.
Every time I see something in the news with, repeal ACA, repeal Obamacare, it really, my stomach clenches up, and it makes me very nervous.
Questions about the future of healthcare tonight and the tens of thousands of people in San Diego County who need it.
Here at San Onofre, tons of spent radioactive nuclear fuel will be stored on site indefinitely, 100 feet from the beach. Coming up, we'll find out about new seismic research that tells us more about the earthquake and tsunami threats to this site. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Ebony Monet. A new travel ban is in the works. So that's the word from President Trump. His administration filed court documents today saying it will replace the controversial ban and it doesn't want an appeals court review.
The new order is going to be very much tailored to what I consider to be a very bad decision, but we can tailor the order to that decision and get just about everything, in some ways more. But we're tailoring it now to the decision. We have some of the best lawyers in the country working on it.
The administration attacked the court's decision in today's filing, saying the three-judge panel misunderstood the scope of the order. Last week, the panel refused to block a lower court decision suspending the ban on travelers from 7 mostly Muslim countries. About 1 in 9 county residents benefit from Obamacare. Congress may soon repeal it. In a story you will see first on KPBS News, iNews Source reporter Cheryl Clark says doctors and patients are worried about what they can lose.
Some 370,000 San Diego County residents have benefited through coverage from Obamacare. They got it either through the Medi-Cal expansion or through Covered California, and that raised dramatically the number of people who are eligible for health plan coverage. I spoke with Jim Dunford. He runs the City of San Diego's 911 system, and he's very concerned about what might happen if more people use the city's ambulance system to access care.
What's really concerning to me is that, now that we've had a lot of the managed Medi-Cal providers come into San Diego, we're starting to develop these good relationships with them, particularly for high-need patients.
And many people with serious medical conditions are seeing doctors. They're taking medications and keeping their conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure from progressing.
If this replacement is not done, extremely carefully, that all the good work that we have accomplished, it could be threatened.
That's something that worries Linda Rasmussen. She's a climate scientist at Scripps Institution of Oceanography, and after her grant funding went away, she was forced to go part-time, and she lost her health care benefits. But a pre-existing condition prevented her from buying a plan on her own.
I was turned down for insurance by every insurer I tried, including Kaiser, Blue Cross, and even plans that didn't have prescription drug coverage or mental health coverage, even catastrophic plans. I could not get any health insurance whatsoever.
So she went without coverage. One day she slipped and sprained her ankle and saw a bill for $3,000. In 2014, however, the Affordable Care Act kicked in. Rasmussen was able to get a subsidized affordable plan that in a worst-case scenario, if she really got sick, would only cost her $6,300 a year.
So now, every time I see something in the news with, repeal ACA, repeal Obamacare, it really, my stomach clenches up, and it makes me very nervous.
I'm Cheryl Clark with KPBS media partner, iNews Source.
A new California law that aims to help public sector employees save for retirement could be in jeopardy. A resolution making its way through U.S. Congress looks to block states like California from setting up retirement plans for non-state workers. California is on the cusp of enacting such a program called Secure Choice. The law's main proponent says the programs like Secure Choice threaten Wall Street banks' bottom line.
In California, we have about 7 million individuals who have no access to any type of retirement security, whether it's a defined benefit or a defined contribution at their place of employment. We have so many folks, especially middle-class folks, who retire into poverty or who don't stop working until they're well into their late 60s or 70s.
The state Senate leader says if the resolution passes through Congress, he plans to sue the federal government. You can find all of our coverage on the president's first 100 days in office with updates and analysis on air and online at kpbs.org. Tonight, a researcher from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography will present new seismic research to a panel monitoring decommissioning at San Onofre. Our North County Bureau reporter, Allison St. John, joins us from San Onofre. Allison, why is the company spending money on studying earthquake faults nearby?
Yes, Ebony, the company is spending about $11 million on this, and that is ratepayer money. It was approved by the California Public Utilities Commission, and that's because the plant, even when it's decommissioned, the spent nuclear fuel will be stored on site indefinitely, just about 100 feet from the ocean. So the company is very interested in finding out more about what, in fact, this tsunami and earthquake threat could pose to their storage system. All this is due, of course, to the fact that the federal government has failed to agree on a permanent storage site for nuclear waste.
The San Onofre nuclear power plant was shut down in 2012 after a radioactive leak, but tons of radioactive spent fuel rods remain there, less than 60 miles north of downtown San Diego. Some rods are already in dry cask storage, like this, and many more will soon be moved from cooling ponds into casks 100 feet from the beach. Neil Driscoll of the Scripps Institution of Oceanography says the biggest earthquake threat to this area is not the San Andreas Fault.
The distance is about 56 miles, and so the San Andreas Fault, you'd feel the shaking, but the ground motion is contingent on the material properties of the rock and the distance, so it doesn't pose a serious threat to the people along the coastline.
Driscoll says the Newport-Inglewood-Rose Canyon Fault that runs in sections up the shoreline is a bigger risk for coastal Southern Californians and for San Onofre or Songs.
This fault for people living along the shore will cause greater ground motion because of its proximity, being 8 kilometers from here at Songs, but in other places it actually comes on shore and goes right through downtown San Diego Bay.
The research being done here at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography is giving us a much better idea of what is not a seismic threat to the San Onofre site and the millions of people who live around it, and what is.
We spent 100 days of collecting geophysical and geological data offshore. All of these lines show ship tracks that were collected with Scripps research ships.
Driscoll concluded, though the Newport-Inglewood-Rose Canyon Fault is broken into sections, the gaps between the sections are small enough that the fault could theoretically rupture from end to end.
The maximum magnitude earthquake, if they rupture end to end, is 7.3. And if it ruptures the onshore northern segment, it could go as high. There's still estimates of 7.3, but it could go as high as a magnitude 7.4.
Southern California Edison officials who run the plant said when San Onofre was still operating, it was built to withstand an earthquake of up to magnitude 7. The dry cask storage for the still radioactive spent fuel rods is designed to withstand more ground shaking than the cooling pools. Edison estimates the spent fuel will not all be moved out of the pools and into the casks until 2019. Previous data showed another fault that runs right under the plant, a fault called the Oceanside Blind Trust.
One of the things is, the big questions was this: if I had rupture on the Oceanside Blind Thrust, if it existed, could I trigger a rupture on the Newport-Inglewood-Rose Canyon or vice versa? and that might release more energy, having another fault system involved.
But Driscoll says his data and older data from oil companies that was reinterpreted do not show evidence of the Oceanside Blind Trust. So he concludes that this is one less thing to worry about. Tsunamis have been measured as high as 40 meters, and the seawall between the spent fuel storage at San Onofre and the beach is only about 9 meters high. But Driscoll says his data shows this part of the coastline is not as vulnerable to tsunamis as other parts of the west coast. He points on a map to underwater peaks and canyons.
This is Point Conception here, down to the border. What you'll notice is that Southern California has this rough topography offshore, which is shown here in this bathymetry. This rough topography, like Cortez Bank and Tanner Bank, they're shallows. The tsunami energy comes in and it builds up, but then right adjacent there's deeps and it collapses. So for far-field tsunamis, the topography offshore, the underwater mountain ranges and valleys acts as a natural baffle to tsunamis.
So, I mean, do you think, as a resident of San Diego, that you were reassured by your research, or what?
I find that the Rose Canyon, Newport Englewood system, which is right offshore here, my office, I'm very close to it. It could rupture together, but the data we have offshore shows that the offshore segments have not ruptured in concert for the last 10,500 to about 13,000 years before present.
The northern end of this fault ruptured as recently as 1933, and Driscoll says the last evidence of activity on the south end of the Rose Canyon fault was about 1650. How all this actually affects the plan to store highly radioactive spent nuclear fuel at San Onofre is up to Edison to interpret, Driscoll says. Personally, he's not taking any chances.
These bookshelves are all anchored to the wall. Yes, everything in this office is very earthquake-proof.
And the results of this seismic research is being reviewed tonight by Edison's Community Engagement Panel, which is meeting in Dana Point. At the San Onofre site, I'm Alison St. John, reporting for KPBS.
Thank you, Allison. Officials working on the problems at Lake Oroville say the water level is now 32 feet below the dam's emergency spillway. For a third day, dump trucks and helicopters are dropping tons of rocks and sandbags to shore it up. Weather forecasts call for 2 to 4 inches of rain and snow near the dam, but this storm is expected to drop less rain than last week. With another round of storms expected in coming days, the San Diego Public Utilities Department says the 9 dams under its control are safe. KPBS reporter Steve Walsh has the story.
We're here at the actual Miramar Dam. This is actually the dam right here behind me. And today, city officials are trying to assure the public that what happened up at Oroville is not likely to happen here in San Diego.
200,000 people were evacuated as a precaution when a spillway malfunctioned at the dam north of Sacramento. The California Department of Water Resources lists 34 dams in San Diego County. 9 of them are controlled by the city. City officials wanted to reassure the public that none of their dams are at risk of the same kind of spillage seen at Oroville.
The weekly, bi-weekly, monthly inspections, plus the work that we do in partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers and the state of California ensure that our dams and our facilities are in good working conditions.
The system runs the gamut in age and capacity. The Choyas Dam was built in 1901. The Otay Reservoir near the border is the closest to capacity at 91%. It was also the last dam in the system to spill over. That was back in 2011. City officials say they see no sign that spillways at any of its dams are unable to function in an emergency.
We're told that the reservoir here behind Miramar is only at 81%, and that this particular reservoir is not hooked up to any sort of natural water source, so it's not likely to see a lot of flooding after this weekend's rains. Reporting from Miramar, Steve Walsh, KPBS News.
San Diego Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez-Fletcher introduced legislation today to require schools to test their water systems for lead each year. Her bill comes in the wake of high levels of lead, copper, and bacteria found in 3 San Ysidro schools. The legislation would force districts that haven't taken advantage of voluntary testing to do so. Fletcher Gonzalez says few districts have conducted voluntary testing. A friend of the San Bernardino terrorists pleaded guilty today. Enrique Marquez admits to buying the high-powered rifles later used to kill 14 people in the 2015 San Bernardino attack. Marquez is the only person charged. The husband and wife authorities say carried out the assault were killed in a gunfight with police. Prosecutors say Marquez had no prior knowledge of the attack. He's currently being held without bail at the Federal Detention Center in San Bernardino. If convicted, he faces up to 25 years in prison. Today, a jury sides with the city of San Diego in a racial discrimination case. It ruled the San Diego Police Department did not retaliate against an officer who complained about a cartoon depicting a black man as an ape. Here's the cartoon in question. It's from 1909. SDPD leaders say the cartoon has been removed from training, but Sergeant Arthur Scott says it was used in a mandatory training workshop. Scott says his supervisors retaliated against him after he complained. He says they passed him over for promotions and ultimately transferred him. According to the jury, this does not add up to racial discrimination. It's projected to be a billion-dollar industry. Now, state lawmakers are trying to figure out how to deal with marijuana sale revenue. Today, a state Senate Budget Committee held a hearing at the state capitol. Their lawmakers received sale projections from financial experts, but they don't have a tax collection plan. Adding to the complexity are concerns the new U.S. Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, will be an obstacle. He's a longtime opponent of legalized pot.
We do have a lot of members that are actually in direct communications with members of Congress and the federal government. So we are very interested and eager to partner with them in those efforts to ensure that the will of the voters is protected in California.
The marijuana industry generated about $6.7 billion in sales in the U.S. last year. Licenses to sell recreational pot in the state will be rolled out by January of next year. San Diego saw some record tourism numbers last year, and the industry is optimistic 2017 will shine as well. KPBS reporter Eric Anderson has details.
It does come with free framing today.
Michael Foth relies on a big tourist crowd at his Seaport Village stand.
Every week I post brand new letters of things that I found while I walk around town.
He sells photographs that resemble letters.
If you'd like to see a name, I'd be glad to pull it.
He also paints people's names, but he can't make a living without customers.
Yeah, usually we have here in our food court, we have all kinds of people, the conventioners, the lunch time, just milling around, eating their lunch, checking out the different concessions around the area.
While FAF didn't notice a visitor bump, the region had a pretty good tourism year in 2016. 34.9 million people came to San Diego. That's up nearly 500,000 from the year before. The San Diego Tourism Authority says the visitors spent a record $10.4 billion. That's an increase of $500 million from 2015. The authority's Joe Terzi says the city and region got a boost because hotel room stays were up, and that means more transient occupancy tax revenues.
There are almost $240 million in TOT taxes to the city and region, so a very, very strong year.
Terzi credits a number of big events for the strong numbers. He says the tourist economy got a boost from the All-Star Game, Kaboom Music Festival in Del Mar, and the local staple Comic-Con. He says special events bring people here.
We look at those kind of events as really key to our continued success. This year, this is a year that we have more big events than ever before.
Tourism officials hope that 2017 will be an even bigger year. They hope that some events on San Diego Bay, extreme sailing, the Red Bull Air Races, and the Breeders' Cup in November will bring more tourists here. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
Hopefully you had a chance to get outside today because it may have been your last chance to enjoy the sunshine for at least the next few days. Shanae Shocker has more.
We're finally starting to see that Pacific storm really advance across much of California, bringing some heavier rain and even some mountain snow out towards the Sierras. Now, as we track this storm, we're continuing to see that cold front dip off towards the south. So rain going to be approaching Los Angeles for tonight. San Diego, maybe a couple of showers, but overall we're looking mostly dry. We're going to start, however, to build in some very cloudy conditions, and into our Friday, that's when we start to see some rain to really make its way in. So a bit of rain late tonight into the early morning hours of our Friday, 58 for our low. So it's a little bit warmer out there as well with the approach of this system. Now across the county, very cloudy conditions. We're seeing those showers reach really all the way up into Long Beach out towards Oceanside. A lot of subtropical moisture going to start to feed in across the region here. Borrego Springs, maybe a drizzle, but we'll be looking at mostly dry conditions for tonight. Now for our Friday, soaking rain, high winds going to be causing some pretty big issues. In fact, we do see a high wind advisory. Winds out of the south anywhere gusting up to around 70 miles per hour going to be possible. So high profile vehicles driving along I-8 and then all the way up to I-10, especially those east to west highways and roads. That's where we're going to start to see some very dangerous conditions here. Also high surf advisory going into our Saturday as well. High tide going to be right around 4 feet. That's going to stick with us through our Saturday and even a little bit into our Sunday as that area of low pressure slowly tracks inward, bringing that moisture more towards the Four Corners state. So as far as the coast goes, we're looking at wet weather for Friday and Saturday. Could see some lingering showers in towards Sunday morning. Temps going to cool off as well as we head into the weekend here. Rain tapers off usually towards Saturday night, but the heavier rain going to be held Friday night into from around 2 o'clock in the evening or afternoon into about midnight on Friday. So that's what we're looking at, maybe 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, locally higher amounts, but the winds here out towards the inland areas, this is where we really start to see those winds get pretty high. As we head into Sunday, possibility of a passing shower as well, and we're climbing back into those upper 60s. Then out towards the mountains, this is where the winds get very dangerous here. We could even see a bit of snowfall as we head into our Saturday, not looking at accumulating any of it, but with the winds and the slipperiness out on the roads, that's causing for some dangerous travel conditions. Now, good news, we're going to be warming back up as we head into our Monday, and out in the deserts, we're going to be seeing that rain through Saturday as well, but the sunshine will return on our Sunday. For KPBS News, I'm Shanae Shocker.
Sink or swim, that's the challenge for students in Imperial Beach this week. Mar Vista High students tested out their hydrogen solar-powered boats this week. It's part of their marine science engineering class. Last week, they made solar-powered cars. Here are the boats in action. Their teacher says some did better than most, and she says the nemesis for solar-powered projects, clouds. From the silver screen to the stage, Pickwick players decide to produce To Kill a Mockingbird during Black History Month. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando says the play proves even more resonant now in light of recent political debates that have polarized communities.
Harper Lee's 1960 novel To Kill a Mockingbird was famously turned into an Oscar-winning film in 1962. Although the story takes place in 1930s Alabama, its message felt very contemporary to Tyler Hughes. He's directing a stage version of the book in Santee.
It is a play that discusses, frankly, the idea of white life worth versus black life worth and brings that right to the fore.
Pivotal to the story is a trial in which Atticus Finch defends a black man accused of raping a white woman.
Every lawyer gets at least one case in his lifetime that affects him personally. This one's mine, I guess.
Larry E. Fox plays Atticus.
I think that the story is not necessarily about white and black. I think it's about what's right.
One thing doesn't abide by majority rule, and that's a person's conscience.
I think really what we're talking about is really the fairness and being able to make sure that all men are created equal, which is one of Atticus's lines that he talks about.
Another one of Atticus's lines defines the theme of the play.
You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. Climb into his skin and walk around in it.
I really like that message that the story is putting out because I think it's true. We all need to be able to relate to people before we can judge them or make any assumptions. We need to have stood in their shoes. We need to have seen things from their point of view.
Francesca Fong plays Atticus's daughter, Scout.
She's very smart, she's very brave, and another thing I really like about her is that she's so direct. If she has a thought, she's gonna say it. If she has a question, she's gonna ask.
Do all lawyers defend Negroes?
They do.
Then why do the kids at school make it sound like you're doing something awful?
Well, you might be too young to understand this just yet, Scout, but
There's some high talk going around town that I shouldn't do much about defending Tom Robinson.
So much focus is on the words, and we haven't gotten to it yet, but the tree behind me, the Boo Radley tree, is going to have the words of the opening couple of pages of To Kill a Mockingbird pasted on it, because everything in this story is generated from that page.
And I am Scout Finch.
I think there's still some themes in the book and of that time that are still relevant today, and so it's kind of cool to just go back and see like how similar it actually is and how little has actually changed.
To Kill a Mockingbird opens tomorrow at Off-Broadway Live in Santee and runs for 2 weekends. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.
Coming up tonight on PBS NewsHour, stories about identity in America. One woman speaks up against labels, and another worries about the consequences of getting caught in a sanctuary city.
We're afraid when we see a police officer. We're Hispanic. We could be stopped for any reason. The real fear that keeps me nervous after a long day is that I may not see my children because I was stopped for only a small infraction.
People often want to say, you're African, and I'm like, Africa is a huge continent. It's not a country. I feel Zambian, and then I feel American. Those are my identities, even though technically I'm an alien in this country.
That's tonight on PBS NewsHour, starting at 7 right here on KPBS. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.